So good morning everyone. Today we are going to read out chapter 4 of class 8. The chapter name is Bipin Choudhury, Lapse of Memory. You will follow me. Chapter 4. Bipin Choudhury's Lapse of Memory. Before you read, do you have a good memory? Has your memory ever played any tricks on you? Forgetfulness often puts you in a tight spot. But forgetting a part of your life completely may drive you crazy. In this story, Bipin Babu goes nearly crazy because he cannot recollect his stay at Ranchi. He has never been to Ranchi. He insists. Though there are many witnesses to the contrary, what is the suspense all about? Every Monday, on his way back from work, Bipin Choudhury would drop in at Kalicharan's New Market to buy books. Crime stories, ghost stories, and thrillers. He had to buy at least 5 at a time to last him through the week. He lived alone. Was not a good mixer. Had few friends. And didn't like spending time in idle chat. Today, at Kalicharan's, Bipin Babu had the feeling that someone was observing him from close quarters. He turned round and found himself looking at a round-faced, meek-looking man who now broke into a smile. I don't suppose you recognize me. Have we met before? Asked Bipin Babu. The man looked greatly surprised. We met every day for a whole week. I arranged for a car to take you to the Choudhury Falls. In 1958, in Ranchi. My name is Parimal Ghosh. Ranchi. Now Bipin Babu realized that it was not he, but this man who was making a mistake. Bipin Babu had never been to Ranchi. He had been at the point of going several times, but never made it. He smiled and said, "Do you know who I am?" The man raised his eyebrows, bit his tongue and said, "Do I know you? Who doesn't know Bipin Choudhury?" Bipin Babu now turned towards the bookshelf and said, still you are making a mistake. One often does. I have never been to Ranchi. The man now laughed aloud. What are you saying, Mr. Choudhury? You had a fall in Choudhury and cut your right knee. I brought you iodine. I had fixed up a car for you to go to Netterhart the next day. But you couldn't because of the pain in the knee. Can't you recall anything? Someone else you know was also in Ranchi at that time. Mr. Dinesh Mukherjee. You stayed in a bungalow. You said you didn't like the hotel food. And would prefer to have your meals cooked by a bawarchi. Mr. Mukherjee stayed with his sister. You had a big argument about the moon landing. Remember? I'll tell you more. You always carried a bag with your books in it. On your sightseeing trips. Am I right or not? Bipin Babu spoke quietly. His eyes still on the books. Which month in 58 are you talking about? The man said, October. No, sir. Said Bipin Babu. I spent puja in 58 with a friend in Kanpur. You are making a mistake. Good day. But the man didn't go, nor did he stop talking. Very strange. One evening I had tea with you in a veranda of your bungalow. You spoke about your family. You said you had no children and that you had lost your wife 10 years ago. Your only brother had died insane, which is why you didn't want to visit the mental hospital in Ranchi. When Bipin Babu had paid for the books and was leaving the shop, the man was still looking at him in utter disbelief. Comprehension check. Why did the man stare at Bipin Babu in disbelief? Question number 2. Where did Bipin Babu say he went in October 58? Question number 3. Mention any 3 or more things that Parimal Ghosh knew about Bipin Babu. Part 2. Bipin Babu's car was safely parked in Batram Street by the Lighthouse Cinema.
By the Lighthouse Cinema.
He told the driver,
He told the driver,
as he got into the car,
as he got into the car,
just drive by the Ganga.
just drive by the Ganga.
Will you, Sitaram?
Will you sit down?
Driving up the Strand Road,
Driving up the Strand Road,
Bipin Babu regretted
Bipin Babu regretted
having paid so much attention
having paid so much attention
to the intruder.
to the intruder.
He had never been to Ranchi.
He had never been Ranchi.
No question about it.
No question about it.
It was inconceivable
It was inconceivable
that he should forget
that he should forget
such an incident
such an incident
which took place
which took place
only 6 or 7 years ago.
only 6 or 7 years ago.
He had an excellent memory.
He had an excellent memory.
Unless
Unless
Bipin Babu's had reeled.
Bipin Babu had read.
Was he losing his mind?
Was he losing his mind?
But how could that be?
But how could that be?
He was working daily in his office.
He was working daily in his office.
It was a big firm.
It was a big firm.
And he was doing a responsible job.
And he was doing a responsible job.
He wasn't aware of anything
He wasn't aware of anything
ever going seriously wrong.
ever going seriously wrong.
Only today,
Only today,
he spoke for half an hour
he spoke for half an hour
at an important meeting.
at an important meeting.
And yet,
And yet,
the man knew a great deal about him.
the man knew a great deal about him.
How?
How?
He even seemed to know
He even seemed to know
some intimate details,
some intimate details,
the bag of books,
the bag of books,
wife's death,
wife's death,
brother's insanity.
brother's insanity.
The only mistake was about his
The only mistake was about his
having gone to Ranchi.
having gone to Ranchi.
Not a mistake,
Not a mistake,
a deliberate lie.
a deliberate lie.
In 58,
In 58,
during the pujas,
during the pujas,
he was in Kanpur
he was in Kanpur
at his friend
at his friend
Haridas Bagchi's place.
Haridas Bagchi's place.
All Bipin Babu had to do
All Bipin Babu had to do
was write to
was write to
no.
no.
There was no way of writing to Haridas.
There was no way of writing to Haridas.
Bipin Babu suddenly remembered
Bipin Babu suddenly remembered
that Haridas had left
that Haridas had left
with his wife
with his wife
for Japan some weeks ago,
for Japan some weeks ago,
and he didn't have his address.
and he didn't have his address.
But where was the need for proof?
But where was the need for proof?
He himself was fully aware
He himself was fully aware
that he hadn't been to Ranchi,
that he hadn't been to Ranchi,
and that was that.
and that was that.
The river breeze was bracing,
The river breeze was racing,
and yet a slight discomfort lingered
and yet a slight discomfort lingered
in Bipin Babu's mind.
in Bipin Babu's mind.
Around Hastings,
Around Hastings,
Bipin Babu decided
Bipin Babu decided
to roll up his trousers
to roll up his trousers
and take a look
and take a look
at his right knee.
at his right knee.
There was the mark
There was the mark
of an old inch-long cut.
of an old inch-long cut.
It was impossible to tell
It was impossible to tell
when the injury had occurred.
when the injury had occurred.
Had he never had a fall as a boy
Had he never had a fall as a boy
and cut his knee,
and cut his knee,
he tried to recall
he tried to recall
such an incident
such an incident
but couldn't.
but couldn't.
Then Bipin Babu suddenly thought
Then Bipin Babu suddenly thought
of Dinesh Mukherjee.
of Dinesh Mukherjee.
The man had said that
The man had said that
Dinesh was in Ranchi
Dinesh was in Ranchi
at the same time.
at the same time.
The best thing surely would be
The best thing surely would be
to ask him.
to ask him.
He lived quite near
He lived quite near
in Beninandan Street.
and Benananda Street.
What about going right now?
What about going right now?
But then,
But then,
if he had really never been to Ranchi,
if we had really never been to Ranchi,
what would Dinesh think
what would Dinesh think
if Bipin Babu asked for a confirmation?
if Bipin Babu asked for a confirmation?
He would probably conclude
He would probably conclude
Bipin Babu was going nuts.
Bipin Babu was going nuts.
No,
No,
it would be ridiculous
it would be ridiculous
to ask him.
to ask him.
And he knew how ruthless
And he knew how ruthless
Dinesh's sarcasm could be.
Dinesh Susman could be.
Sipping a cold drink in his air-conditioned living room,
Sipping a cold drink in the living room.
Bipin Babu felt at ease again.
Bipin Babu felt at ease again.
Such a nuisance.
Such a nuisance.
Just because they have nothing else to do,
Just because they have nothing else to do,
they go about getting
they go about getting
into other people's hair.
into other people's hair.
After dinner,
After dinner,
snuggling in bed,
standing in bed
new thrillers,
with one of the new dealers,
Bipin Babu forgot all
Bipin Babu forgot all
about the man in New Market.
about the man in New Market.
Bipin Babu decided
Bipin Babu decided
to ring up Dinesh Mukherjee.
to ring up Dinesh Mukherjee.
It was better to settle the question
It was better to settle the question
over the phone.
over the phone.
At least the embarrassment
At least the embarrassment
on his face wouldn't show.
on his face couldn't show.
2, 3, 5, 6, 1, 6.
2, 3, 5, 6, 1, 6.
Bipin Babu dialed the number.
Bipin Babu dialed the number.
Hello. Is that Dinesh?
Is that Dinesh?
This is Bipin here.
This is Bipin here.
Well. What is the news?
What is the news?
I just wanted to find out
I just wanted to find out
if you recall an incident
if you recall an incident
which took place in 58.
which took place in 58.
58?
58.
What incident?
What incident?
Were we in Calcutta? Right through that year?
Right to that year.
That's the first thing
That's the first thing
I have got to know.
I have got to know.
Wait just a minute.
Wait just a minute.
58?
58.
Just let me check in my diary.
Just let me check in my diary.
For a minute,
For a minute.
there was silence.
There was silence.
Bipin Babu could feel
Bipin Babu could feel
that his heartbeat had gone up.
that his heartbeat had gone up.
He was sweating a little.
He was sweating a little.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes,
Yes.
I have got it.
I have got it.
I had been out twice.
I had been out twice.
Where?
Where?
Once in February,
Once in February.
nearby to Krishnanagar,
Nearby to Krishna,
to a nephew wedding.
to a nephew's wedding.
And then, but you would know about this one.
But you know about this now.
The trip to Ranchi.
The trip to Ranchi.
You were there too.
You were there
That's all.
That's all.
But what's all this sleuthing about? No, I just wanted to.
No, I just wanted to.
Anyway, thanks.
Anyway, thanks.
Bipin Babu slammed the receiver down
Bipin Babu slammed the receiver down
and gripped his head
and gripped his head
with his hands.
with his hands.
He felt his head swimming.
He felt his head swimming.
A chill seemed to spread over his body.
Over his body.
There were sandwiches in his tiffin box,
There were sandwiches in his tiffin box.
but he didn't eat them.
But he didn't eat them.
He had lost his appetite.
He had lost his appetite.
Comprehension check.
Comprehension check.
Question number 1.
Question number 1.
Why did Bipin Babu worry about
Why did Bipin Babu worry about
what Parimal Ghosh had said?
what Parimal Ghosh had said?
Question number 2.
Question number 2.
How did he try to decide
How did he try to decide
who was right,
who was right?
his memory or Parimal Ghosh?
His memory or Parimal Ghosh?
Question number 3.
Question number 3.
Why did Bipin Babu hesitate
Why did Bipin Babu hesitate
to visit Mr. Mukherjee?
to visit Mr. Mukherjee?
Why did he finally decide to phone him?
Why did he finally decide to phone him?
Question number 4.
Question number 4.
What did Mr. Mukherjee said?
What did Mr. Mukherjee said?
Did it comfort Bipin Babu
Did it comfort Bipin Babu
or add to his worries?
or